It's going to be an interesting session. Very, very interesting. So I hope you guys are here with your questions. So Alfred, are we live now? Okay. All right. So good evening, everybody. My name is Precious, for those that are just seeing me for the first time. So my name is Precious, and I'm going to be the moderator for this event. While we're waiting for our speakers to join, we can do like a little bit of exercise where we get to introduce ourselves, how we got to hear about the event, and everything. So I'll go first. My name is Precious, like I said earlier, and I'm the founder of Design Pub. Design Pub is a digital organization aimed at giving out trainings to individuals ready to learn, that ready to upskill themselves in different levels, So we are specifically teaching people different skills in writing and in design. So all of these courses we offer are not taught by me, no way. So we have different professionals in our midst that will be taking them. So if you're yet to register for any of our courses, here is the time for you to do that. What else? Okay. I decided to start design club out of the desire to give Nigerians, my fellow Nigerians, right? My fellow youths as well, the opportunity to grow because the rate of unemployment is alarming. And the fact that our educational system doesn't give us enough 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 knowledge, right? Aside the even doctors still they still have to go and improve themselves. But then, so because our educational system doesn't give us the privilege to actually compete in the global world, and right now skills are what is selling in the market. So I decided to create this platform where people can come together and learn, without having to break the bank. You get to receive quality trainings, you get to access professionals in different levels and grow. So that's basically why I started this. So while I was talking, one of our speakers just came in. Hi, Ugochukwu. Thank you. Ugochukwu is joining us from Canada. And trust me, it's still very early where he is, but he's here. So thank you very much, Ugochukwu. So moving on, I'm just going to introduce ourselves. Claudia, over to you. Abiye, any of you. So you guys should introduce yourself, your profession, what you do, how you heard about us, and we wait for others to join. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Clavia, the coordinator. I'm a writer, a skincare writer. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Clavia. So I'll be over to you.
Hi everyone, I'm a content writer for finance and the brand
Why?
strategist at Design Pub.
All right, thank you. I was thinking you guys are just going to give us two lines introduction. What's that? Why are you giving us just two sentences? Please tell us who you are, what you do, why you're here. Okay, so don't just tell us I'm this and I'm this. No, give us a little story about yourself, your background. So I'm calling on Sharon right now. Sharon, please over to you. Hi, Sharon, are you there? Okay. Bright, can you please tell us a bit about yourself? Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Uh, my name is Bright Okereke. I'm a project manager and a Scrum Master as well. So thank you. It's nice to be here. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Bright. I can see that there are other people here, so just give me a second to get to their names. Ifoma, hi Ifoma. Over to you. What is your name and how did you hear about this event? Just give us a brief introduction about who you are. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Ifoma.
Evening.
Yes, I get to hear about this program through a friend. I'm a medical sales rep. I work in the pharmaceutical industry.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Ifoma. Please give me a second. Okay. Um. All right. So who else is here? Gwen. Gwen, can you tell us a bit about yourself? Are you close to your phone? Okay. If Gwen is not here, we should go to Felicia. Hi, Felicia. Can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Okay. Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is
Evening.
Kwat Ann Gunen. I'm a seven core member and I'm here to learn content writing, maybe.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, our speakers are actually here. Some of them are here. So any moment from now, we're getting started. Doris, can you tell us a bit about yourself? Hi, Doris. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and how you heard about this event? Are you there? Are you there? Okay. Emmanuel, do you want to tell us about yourself? Do you want to introduce yourself? Emmanuel Otta, can you tell us a bit about yourself before we get
Yeah,
started?
I'm Emmanuel Atta.
Okay.
I don't know what time is it there, but I'm in Ghana now, and it's
Okay.
around 3 o'clock p.m.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Hope everybody is doing great. I'm very excited to join this seminar. I've
All
been on
right.
LinkedIn for quite some time now. I'm into IT. Yeah, I build softwares and stuff. I got this
Oh,
invitation through one of your content writers. I don't know. Um, I joined through.
okay. That's fine. Thank you. And we are happy to have you. So without wasting much time, we are moving into the event proper. So most of you are wondering what this event is about. It's very simple. The aim of this event is to listen to success stories, tell us how they started. Because every professional you see today was once a learner, right? So we had to invite professionals from different fields to come today and tell us how they started, how they're able to make it through, because trust me, building a career is very difficult. It's not an easy task. So today they're here to share their stories with us, give us advice, tell us what to do right in case we're doing anything wrong. So yeah, our first speaker for today is Richard. Are you ready? Richard, are you
Yes, hello
ready?
everyone. Yes, good evening
Okay.
and hello everyone. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. We are so happy and excited to have you.
Yeah,
So
I'm excited
Richard
as well.
is, thank you. Richard is uh, the founder of Orange VFX Animation Company. So he is a professional animator. And why he's here to give us his experience on how he started, because most people here want to learn animation. So today you're going to listen from the horse's mouth on how to build your career in animation. So Clavia, I'm going to call on you right now to please read out Richard's bio. Thank you.
Okay. Hi everyone again. So Richard is currently the chief creative officer and founder of Orange FX VFX, Nigeria's leading 3D animation, visual effects production and training company based in Lagos, Nigeria. He's a graduate of chemical engineering from the University of Port Harcourt, Rivers State. He interned at the Nigerian Gas Company, Delta State, and is Schlumberger Nigeria Limited, Rivers State, before discovering his passion for 3D animation in late 2006. He's a visual storyteller and revels in discovering unique and compelling ways animation can help people and businesses tell better stories. He leads a team of 20 creative women and youth and led Orange VFX to win the Lifanima 2019 Best Animation Commercial for the studio's outstanding work on DSTV Step Up and Boost campaign featuring Orange VFX's mascots. He created the highly acclaimed Ovi and Wale characters, which went viral in 2013. He led the company on successful working productions for top tier companies like the African Union, Coca-Cola, DSTV, and MTN. He mentors many and aims to develop 3D animated content that makes African storytelling mainstream. He promotes his African heritage extensively in his craft, inspired by Disney. So this is our first speaker for today, Richard Obo. Welcome him, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Clavia. Wow, what a bio. This
As in what
experience
you
did not
buy,
start today.
it's really
This
expensive.
experience did not start today, honestly, because damn, oh my god, I'm still learning. I'm still upcoming. So, Richard, do you mind turning on your camera for us to see the owner of this bio we just read? Is that fine?
Yes, let me just adjust the lighting a bit so it's a bit easier to see me.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's okay.
Hope everyone can see me clearly.
Yes, I can see you.
Awesome.
Thank
So
you.
it's a pleasure to be here. I'm in the studio this Saturday evening. So over to you.
All right, so Richard, um, how did it all start? Like, I know we heard your bio, but then practically, how did you start? Like, where did you start from? How did you learn animation? Because we heard that you graduated from an engineering department. So how did you move from chemistry, or was that chemistry engineer? Was that chemical
Chemical
engineering,
engineering.
or okay, that?
Chemical engineering.
How did you move from chemical engineering to animation? So tell us.
For me, animation was a career I happened to stumble across. I didn't wake up and decided that I was going to do animation full time as a professional career. So it happened sometime in 2005, 2006. I just met a friend who introduced me to the software, and I had to go to download it myself. And the software is called Autodesk Maya. So since then, it sparked my interest, and I've been learning it ever since. So I'm initially self-taught, and I started taking tutorials in cyber cafes. Back then, you couldn't browse easily, go online easily. You have to go to a cyber cafe, and you spend overnight trying to download things, tutorials, and stuff like that. So I spent a lot of nights in the internet, the cyber cafe, and then I started picking up some skills. And then over time, after graduating from university, I figured that this is something that I would like to pursue as a full-time career. And then I began to take it a bit more seriously during my youth service in 2008. And 2009, I started doing work for clients. And 2010, that's when I registered the business as Orange VFX Studios.
Oh, sorry, I'm muted. So can you describe your learning journey? How was it? Was it easy to learn animation? Because it's not looking like something that's easy. So was it easy for you? Were the tutorials enough? And how much did you spend learning animation?
Well, that's a very interesting question. It was a very big challenge learning. As you already know, animation is not the kind of skill you have in this part of the world. In fact, until recently, I think there were probably not any universities that were offering any courses in animation at all. So what you could have was mostly fine art or slightly related things, but none specifically on animation. So it was a very big challenge. There was no one I could talk to. There was no one I could ask questions from, and so I literally had to figure out everything on my own. So whenever I got stuck, I would have to look for forums because forums is just like your Google these days, and or sorry, your WhatsApp, and then there's so many places now you can easily get information. Now the information age, but then you have to look for the forum or a website that, if you're lucky enough, explains the problems that you're having in detail. So it was always a very big struggle. Learning for me was slow, but I was very consistent. Put in my very best and made sure that I will, get through and I'll learn it. So with that level of focus and dedication, I was able to pick up eventually and tackle a lot of problems that way.
Um, wow. Okay. You didn't get to answer how much you spent
Oh yeah,
learning.
very very important.
Yeah.
The software, I got a friend that helped me download it, so I just gave him a tip for the software. I think then I paid about 6,000 or thereabouts, which is still a lot of money for just downloading stuff. So other than that, I didn't really spend much because luckily enough there were some materials that were available. I didn't spend in terms of cash. All I just had to do was the cost pay for was the cost of the internet and subscription or cyber cafe browsing that we used to do at the time. There used to be overnight browsing. I think it was like 500 naira for overnight at some cafes that were really fast. Then for some that are not so fast, they would charge about 200 naira or 300 naira for from overnight, from usually 10 p.m. till 6 a.m. in the morning. So most of the money I spent was into internet and subscription to browse, get data, and all of that to study. Luckily, there are lots of good resources there, even at that time. They were not necessarily videos, so they were usually in HTML text form, text and image form. So what I used to do then, I used to buy a floppy disk and I had the flash drive as well. So I'll just save out as many pages as I needed, and then I'll take it back to my desktop or laptop in the house, and then I would use them and watch. So I kept saving, downloading these pages. So it made it relatively less expensive for me to learn this skill. So I didn't really spend so much in terms of cost.
Wow. Please, can someone say thank God for technology?
Yeah.
Trust me, it's crazy learning that way right now because somebody like me would just give up. from cyber cafe to that was it was your determination that kept you,
Yeah,
honestly, and you did what you wanted. Okay,
exactly.
when did you start accepting jobs from clients, and how was the first job like?
My very first job was from a friend. I used to live in Saple in Delta State. It's a very small town, not very popular. And so there was a friend I met through someone who used to work in Benin. So Benin City was a bit more open for those of you that are familiar with the way the city is. So it's a bit more central. It has more population. It's a bigger market in terms of businesses and companies that required our services. So I had met a friend. He used to work in a studio that does editing. He was an editor. So they introduced me to him, and we spoke. And he said, okay, that he saw some of the works I had done. Usually, just small samples, test things I've modeled and showed him, and small little videos. And then he said to me that okay, he's going to get a project for me, and I should give him like a range of costs, which I did. And then one day, he just called me, like he had someone who wants to do a job, and he asked me what I'll charge. So I said I don't have any amount, but just charge well so that we can split and the money would make sense. And then when the job finally came, he told me that it was 15,000 naira. So we split the payment 50-50, and I got 7.5. So for me, that 7.5 felt like 7.5 billion at that time because it's, how do you say, it sounds felt like a confirmation or validation of all the things I've been learning in very few years. It gave me even more confidence to keep pursuing that. Okay, yes, this is actually viable, and if I can do 7.5 with someone in student Benin, imagine if I went to Lagos and then international with this skill, it would definitely make thousands of times more than that amount. So that kept me going and really made me encouraged. And then from there, I got introduced to some other company called God is Good Motors, and we made their first 3D animation commercial too for back in 2009. And the fee I got from that job was through a friend at a TV station. I met him when I was marketing, trying to sell myself. I would just be walking from office to office and door to door, pillar to post, just try to look for who to um, find customers. And then I met this guy. He's worked at a TV station. He was one of their top managers there. So I just walked into his office. I showed someone my work, and they said, "Okay, they'll introduce me to someone," and they took me to his office. So he watched some of the work I had done, very simple, basic stuff, and he told me that I should come and create something nice, maybe people dancing. And I said, "Okay, I'll work on it and come back." So when I brought it back to him and showed him, he really liked it. I said, "Okay, he's going to look for jobs. I should just keep making more of those videos." So the very first video that helped us break through was those dancing videos. And then after some months later of doing a few more dance videos, he told me that God is good. One company that does transport services wants to make a animation commercial of their brand using animation. So it was really exciting, and that project paid me 120,000. And for me, it was another very big breakthrough. So not long after school, I found myself making money and I was growing quickly. So I felt like I didn't really have to wait to look for a job. I could just, follow my passion at the same time, still make money and build myself. So, and from there it kept improving and things started getting even better. So it's just been awesome so far.
Wow. Oh my God. The what I like about your story is the fact that you didn't let your circumstance hold you back, right? You were moving from one office to the other to find customers. You didn't wait for customers to come to you. You were putting yourself out there. So what you were doing right now, it can be done on social media, right? Putting out your
Yeah.
job. You don't have to go from office to office. All you need to do is create very good content around what you do. Okay, so how much does it cost to learn animation right now? The current amount to learn animation.
Um, at Orange Fest, we offer courses on animation. The smallest one is 50,000 naira for 2 weeks. But for anybody else that is unable to take the trade from our school, you can actually learn it for free. There are quite a lot of resources out there online. YouTube has hundreds or thousands of tutorials that you can watch at any time and learn the basics. And if you know what you're doing, you can get it very fast. The only difference with learning on your own is that sometimes you get stuck and you might need to speak to someone who will put you through. So when you have someone beside you, coaching you and guiding you, naturally you learn it faster. But nonetheless, there are always people who catch up really fast and they can watch tutorial and figure things out on their own with little or no difficulty. But yes, there are so many ways. You can start with zero cost. You don't spend the dime, other than maybe internet, electricity, just regular costs. But it can be as little as nothing, zero to start.
All right, thank you very much. So, the next question is, how did you start your company? Because right now you are the founder of an animation company. So, when did you start, and did not really have animation skills? So, did you employ people and train them yourself, or so how did you get workers to work with you?
All right, very good question, and thanks for that. The company got incorporated in 2010, May 5th precisely, and was incorporated in Delta State. So I used some money from the jobs I had done to register the company, and then it started with just me. I worked freelance for many years, and then over time, it took until 2013, 3 years after incorporating, that I decided that I needed an office to work in. So within that time, I used to move around because I had just come to Lagos in 2010, and I used to move around. The same thing I did in Benin. I was just going from office to office, walking around the streets, and why our office is in Surulere because that's where we actually started. So I had come to some sections of like for those of you that are familiar with Surulere, Okolona Drive, Body Thomas, during Gusaya, I was just walking those streets down looking for studios who do production and animation work. And I met a couple of people who referred me to others as well. So it really, really helped us. And then the question about how we hired staff, it started with just me. But over time, I quickly realized that I would need extra hands because animation it has a process and it can be overwhelming easily when you're doing content that is long and has a lot of characters and starts to get complex. So quickly realized that I need to get people to break down reduce, share the workload with, and make it more efficient and faster. So, as you know, I didn't have much business knowledge and experience at that point in time. So everything was just more or less trial and error. So I'll try something, just trying to see what could work and learning from it in the process. So I started with hiring a friend, and he just came in more not less necessarily like a full-time employee, but just comes and then we sit together and he was just helping out. And then from that informal setting, he now we started working together. So I'll give him some tasks. So it was more or less like a contract relationship, if you can, if to put it that way. So I'll give him a small task to do, help me do this for so and so amount. And then so it was that kind of basis that I started hiring people. And then over time we started meeting more people started taking more interest as we got more noticed. So others started coming to the studio that in Surulere to tell us about themselves. Some came to look for work, some came to train as well. And then we decided that there's actually a market too for training and it's something that we should also explore. And also, since there's so much people in this industry, we will need people who can teach and you know teach those that are willing to learn. And then I started looking for people who could serve as instructors. So we started growing gradually from just me and a colleague. We grew to 4 people. We stayed about 4 people for a few years, and then interns started coming to ask us questions like, "How do we intern at your organization? We love animation." And then I'll now figure that we also have to start catering for interns as well. And gradually our numbers started going up. And then before you know it, we're almost 30 at the moment.
Wow, what a transformation. Thank you so much. I have another question for you. So, guys, Sorry, I'm not the only one asking questions. If you have any questions, kindly drop it in the comment section or you hold on so that we give you a chance to ask your question directly. So, have you ever sought a client's job? Have you made a mistake with a client's job before? What was the experience like? Have you had problems with clients? You know,
Yes, with animation is I think it's very normal, especially when you are starting out for the very first time. I had little experience working with brands. So when I came to Lagos is when I started working with proper companies that are structured, that have a real organizational hierarchy and all that. So if you wanted to work with coordination in Benin, most times you'll be talking to the owner of the business. But when you're working with a company in um, a city like Lagos, you often work with a corporate communications department or someone in one other department that relates to the media and visual, kind of content service and so on. So it was a little different, and I hadn't gotten into the habit of using emails. So they ask me for my email address, and after like a day or two, they'll tell me that they sent an email that they did not see their email, and I'll be like, "What email?" In my head, I'll be like, "How did I miss this email?" Then I will now realize, oh, I actually give them my email address, and I'll go and check. And I'll find that I have a mail that visits my inbox for over a week and wait for updates. So there was lots of shock I had in understanding the corporate world. I was also inexperienced on how the structure of most big businesses are set up, and so the new business team was just a new experience, and we literally didn't have that exposure in our educational system. We're not really taught how these companies work, how they are structured. How do you correspond, how do you send emails, how do you manage, how do you communicate, how do you even type an email, like you how do you start your email, the body of the mail, how do you close an email properly and seem professional, all those little details, they are just not taught, and I had to figure them out literally from experience. So there was a lot of friction at first, and it led to a lot of burnout, and we had a lot of problems. So one of my first projects I did with Owando, which is a oil and gas company, you probably know. Um, we had a project we're working on for something they call the annual recertification exercise. And this event held once a year at the middle of the year, sometime around June. So they needed the video ready because the date could not be shifted. So once the date was fixed, we had to deliver by that time. Then, as you know, animation too has its own process and everything. We are still new to figuring out the whole thing. So we got to a point that we were almost close to missing the deadline, and the client was putting us under intense pressure. So they were calling and calling and calling at one point, and around that time I had not yet gotten the studio. So they now threatened that they were going to come to the office where I worked from. And unfortunately for me, I was working from a friend's house. So it was such an awkward situation, and they eventually came. I had to explain to my friend that okay, I'm doing work for a client, and they will come in, and then they came, and I just had to find a way to save the situation and try to explain everything in a way that okay, that we had some issues and but somehow we managed to resolve it, deliver the job, conclude it, and move on. So, but there's been a lot of experiences like that, especially at the beginning, managing time, communication, making things clear in terms of deliverable, like how fast are you going to deliver and what time, keeping to your promises, making sure that you keep to your word. Because one thing in business that I didn't realize that there's a lot of rules, or should I say philosophies or principles that you have to adhere by. When you say something, you have to keep to it, keep to your word. If you are not going to keep to your word, you always have to give a clear reason in advance if there's going to be a change or shift or something. So those are just like general ethics, work ethics, and um, attributes of someone who's professional that I was all really learning at the time, and it was just so new at that period of time. So it was a lot of challenging. It was really challenging at that time, but over time I got used to the process, got used to the culture, and it got easier. So that's the story in a nutshell.
wow, Mr. Richard, I'm sure at that point you were like, God, why did I take this contract? I mean, the stress is too much. But now it's story. It's now a story. You can remember and laugh at. Looking back at how far you've come, and we are really happy with your progress and impressed by how far you've come. So when did you make, or when did you have your big break? When did you blow in Nigeria language? When did you blow?
Yeah, I often get that question a lot. What helped us blow to the spotlight was the Ovenwale series that we made in 2013. Those two guys were dragging remote control and dancing. So when we made that video, it went viral, but we never realized it. Fortunately for us, then, not like now that social media is all over the place. There's so much content going on that it's hard to avoid anything. It was a little bit saner, calmer, and we weren't bombarded with content all the time. So when we made that first video, it went all over the place. It was so popular that the neighbor across the street where I lived came and showed me the video and said, "Have you seen this video before?" It's very, very nice. Like different people on the same street came to show us. I was traveling to a friend's house in the north, and met the children, neighbors' children, singing the lyrics to the song, literally word for word, without the phone in their hand, and they were just saying it like a normal thing. So then I knew that we were actually onto something, and we got calls from a lot of brands. We got offers to even buy the characters. P Square's manager even called us at that time. They wanted to buy the characters off, and DSTV approached us, MTN approached us, and a lot of opportunities just came out of the project. And then we started getting client jobs after that. So some wanted to use the characters, some wanted to just develop their own, some wanted something else. So, but that really put us in the limelight, and then we've been getting jobs ever since.
Wow. I mean, this is amazing. The thing about your story is that you never know the content that will blow. I mean, you don't know the particular one that will blow. So if it's writing, just keep at it, because just keep being creative, because you don't
Yeah.
know the one that would go viral and get people looking for you. All right, that's amazing. Guys, do you have questions? Does anyone okay, Emmanuel is asking, how has hold on please. Um so he's asking, how has how has been your journey in a nutshell? Okay.
In a nutshell, in one word, I would say it's been exciting. Um, I would say crazy if you want to put it all in one word. So, but if I were to expand on it a
Okay.
little bit more, there's been ups and downs. Every business has its challenges, and as a
Uh-huh.
business grow, you start to discover things you didn't have. There are five common crises that every business faces. I can't remember the order in detail, but one of them is crisis of structure. You find out that when you have more than 3 or 4 people in an organization, you have to have a structure, a hierarchy, and then crisis of leadership is another one. You have to set clear roles for people to work on and all those things. So it's been crazy. There have been months when I always feel like the world should just end. Sometimes the pressure can be so insane, and then there are some days when you like everything is so good and it's going so well. So you have a bit of everything sometimes. So it's a ride, it's a journey, like you said, and something that we know will continue for a very, very long time.
Thank you so much. So if you have a question, please raise your hand so you can use the microphone, or you just drop it in the comment section. Anybody else? All right, so Mr. Richard, what are the opportunities in the market for animators? Because we know that once we get started in our program, they're going to train upcoming professionals, right? So what are the opportunities available for them? Because trust me, they wouldn't just want to learn and get the skill for, you know, just for fancy. They want to practice and they want to make good money like you out of it. So what are the opportunities?
For animators, there's a lot of opportunities that are available. Um, the only caveat to that is that you need to be build your skill to a certain level. for you to really access those opportunities. So the opportunities available are different. So if you are a character animator, which is just focused on motion, the movement, the dynamics, like how a character walks, talks, runs, and the motion part of the animation. So you can get jobs from different parts of the country, in fact, from outside the world. So you could work with foreign studios remotely and earn in dollars right here in Nigeria. You could do modeling. So you create models of different things. It could be characters, it could be products, it could be objects, it could be different things. So you model it, you put colors, textures, and then you send it back to the client and then you make money. Again, you can do this both locally, you can do it internationally as well. You could do rigging. So rigging is a process where you create the controls for the character. So if you do that very well too as well, we are definitely going to get work for that. And then there's a very common area to that people do a lot, but um, in especially overseas, but not so much here, is lighting and rendering. So we have only a few people that are very good at that. So compositing, lighting, rendering, they go together. So we don't have too much really good compositors here in Nigeria, but I believe if someone does those skills very well, definitely you'll get very good offers. You could work with freelance on different platforms like Fiverr, but although I recommend Upwork. Upwork seems to be very, very stable. The revenue is much more higher than what Fiverr offers. But you can do a lot of gigs, make from a few tens of dollars to a couple of hundreds of dollars per gig, and you can finish them within 3, 4, 5 days, depending on how fast you work. And that way, in a month, you can make as much as 500 to 1,000. There's a guy who just trained with us about 5 or 6 months ago. He came in as a novice, completely new to animation, and he started his course with us and then finished, and then he did a bit of internship, and then he started working on Upwork. And I said last time we spoke about 4 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago, he did gigs worth over $2,000, and from that money he collected money and bought himself a very good computer with a very big monitor and all that. So yes, there's opportunity, but you also have to be really, really, hardworking, and you have to build yourself. There's a minimum level you need to cross, and once you've gotten to that point, it becomes way easier for you to explore your skill and your talent and make money from that.
Okay, thank you so much. I think there's another question for you, so I'll just read it out. Oh, from Emmanuel as well. It says Emmanuel is the only person here listening to your story. Okay, so he's asking, how have you been able to stay on top of your game in the industry despite competition? So how have you been dealing with competition? Because right now, looking left and right, you would see animation companies very there. So
It's still really low at the moment. Is that not many studios have understood the process and the pipeline to manage it efficiently. So they tend to have some delays in delivery and things like that that affects the production. So there's a very large amount of undersaturation in our industry nationwide. And I think it will take several more years before we start worrying about competition on a very large scale. And then, before even worry about competition locally, there's the real competition is international, because there are many big studios out there that are established and doing great things. And then for a studio that just coming out trying to break into the foreign market, you really have to stand out or do something strong or pull a strong connection and then look for good referrals and opportunities that will give you the jobs that you want overseas. But competition is still really low at the moment, and I think it's something that there's a lot of space for more studios and more professionals and freelancers or individuals to fill in.
okay, thank you so much. Then I can see another question here. Someone is asking, okay, Daniel is asking, he said, please concerning the animation program, I'm a builder and I do building design. Does this program have anything to do with animation and games? Oh, okay, this is for us as an academy. Yeah, so it depends on the um, course or program you choose, because if you chose architectural design, you're going to be learning how to actually design buildings, workspaces, all of those things. So it's a good thing you're already a builder, so you know the basics. But then our structural um department and our architectural department are actually specific for builders already, for students in civil engineering, um architectural department, building, So yeah, it depends on what you choose. So if you chose any of that, you can get access to learning designs. So does anyone have any other question? Okay, so Mr. Richard, thank you for sharing your story. And what advice do you give to upcoming animators? What do you think, or where do you think they can get started? And what should they hold on to? You know, what should they put at the back of their mind while going on this journey?
Okay, that's a very good, powerful question. The most important thing anybody doing animation should have in mind is the quality of their work. You need to be consistent. You need to be very hardworking, and you need to think as a business person.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you are planning to set up a studio, or you are planning to work in a studio on any kind of business role. Um, Also, be optimistic, and you need to understand storytelling. This part might be a bit technical, but storytelling is very, very crucial in digital animation. Animation usually is used to tell stories. So understanding how it plays a role in that is going to play a big major impact in how well the quality of the work shows to the public. So that's my advice for anyone starting out.
Okay, thank you so much. There's another question for you. So, Emmanuel, for you to assess Sir Richard, he is on LinkedIn. You can search for him on LinkedIn. Then he is also one of our partners, let's say, because we have upcoming projects which are going to be doing with his animation company. So our animation students should get ready. If you want to work in a place like Orange VFX, you have to be really, really skilled. So take this program seriously so you can get the access to work in a professional setting. So another Emmanuel is asking, he said, did your studying engineering make it easy in learning the animation?
Yes, in it definitely helped. Why it was
Okay.
helpful is that animation is technical in some aspects of it. Like we use graph editors when it comes to the motion part. When you're rigging, and in some aspects you could use scripting. So a knowledge of engineering is definitely helpful in understanding the way animation works, but it's not compulsory. So I have a lot of friends who never studied anything engineering related, and in fact never even went to university or polytechnic, but they have performed really well. So I think more importantly is your level of focus, determination, and how hard they're willing to work. The more effort you put in, I believe it pay off with the right amount of consistency and effort.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Richard. So, before you stop speaking, right, I want to say something concerning your journey, right? Because in as much as it started out as a novice and you found your way, with videos, with your floppy disk, with um, cyber cafe at your beck and call, right? It didn't just stay at a place. So I just want to point this out to people, right, who are here and willing to take their career to the next level. You can't just be at a place and expect things to happen for you. No, they won't happen. So you have to take a step. And if you know that you want to become a professional animator like Mr. Richard, yeah, you can start by enrolling for that course under our academy. That's one. And he also said something about most of his friends that didn't go to school, they're really performing well, right? This is part of the reason why Design Pod is here. Irrespective of what you studied, if you're willing to just learn, if you're willing to develop yourself, then this is a stepping stone for you. This is the right place for you to be. So, with that said, thank you so much, Mr. Richard, for staying consistent. Now you're the founder, you're the CEO of a very big animation company right now, and we are celebrating your growth. We are celebrating you as a person for not giving up, even when things look like they were not going to work out, but you kept on, and here you are now, a success story. So thank you so much, and thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So, guys, I hope you're learning something. I hope I'm not the only person learning here. So, we're going to move on to the next speaker. Let's see who's here. If you have any questions, please kindly drop it in the comment section so that we can attend to you and answer you. Okay, so I'll be calling on the newborn. This is one guy that I admire. I mean, there is no how you would follow the new on LinkedIn and you wouldn't learn what he's up to. So, Jillian, can you hear me? Are you here? Can you hear me? Dinu, are you here? Can you hear me?
Yes, 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 I can hear you. Good
Okay.
evening.
Good evening, Dinu. So he is a very, very talented guy, and he is not stopping. Oh God. The kind of people this guy is pulling for his event that is coming up on the, I think, 20th or 21st. Is correct. Are you here?
Yes, so we are here. We are here. I can hear you.
Dinu? Oh, okay, thank you. So Dinu, correct me. Is that on the 20th or on the 21st? When is the event again?
21st. It is 21st.
21st, okay. The kind of people he's pulling in for his event is amazing. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Was that? I think I saw Kubala, right? You can imagine. Oh my God. So we're going to learn how he started his journey, how he got the courage to go walk up to those kind of people and say, you know what, I need you at my event. You're going to know how he started and he'll be sharing his story with us. But before we start, Flavia, can you please read out his bio for us? Thank you.
Sure. Okay. Dinu is a 21-year-old fast rising business magnate and founder of two startup companies, Goloko Diaries Limited and Dinu's Circle Limited. With a BSc in architecture and experience in real estate and investments, his interest is in personal finance grew. His interest in personal finance grew in his early days of working as a real estate and investment consultant. Dini is currently processing his MBA applications abroad and has the desire to grow himself and host others to finance, to personal financial supremacy and business success in 5 years.
Did I hear 21-year-old? Oh my God. Oh my God. Founder of two companies.
21 years and two
It's really
startups.
amazing.
Wow. Just wow.
It's
You
really
make me feel like
amazing.
I'm
Like
playing with my own life.
they play. Okay, fine, guys. We're going to be hearing from Dinu, like how he started. I'm sure he didn't start today, so we're going to hear from him, and he's going to tell us everything, from the beginning, how he started. I mean, only to start up at 21. Oh my God. Okay, so Dinu, over to you. Do you mind turning on your camera for us to see? face of a CEO.
You want me to turn on camera? Ah, it's okay. Let me find one place to sit
I want to
down.
see your face.
Hey, God.
Okay.
I hope you see me clearly. I'm coming now. Can you all see me? I want to say, am I audible? Am I visible? I'm not even seeing myself. Hello?
Okay, if right.
Can you see me?
Not at all.
Oh, see my life. Oh my. I didn't switch on. What is this? Turn on camera now. Control E. Like my. Oh, okay. Sorry. My WhatsApp camera is on, I think. Let me just close that. Can you see me now? Not yet. Okay, let me leave and
Not
No,
join
we
yet.
back.
can see.
Let me leave.
Okay, so while we're waiting for him to sort out his camera, I'm sure you guys want to see this 21-year-old. So we have to give him time to fix himself and come back. I think I should move to the next speaker while giving him time so we don't waste much time. So I'll be calling on Ugochukwu. Ugochukwu is a nice guy. I would say that because I met him on LinkedIn and when I told him about an event I was organizing, he's like, okay, we can do this. He's joining us from Canada and he is a senior product owner. He's going to be sharing with us how he started from Nigeria and relocated to Canada and he's killing it. So guys, let's make welcome Uchuku Wardi and Claudia. Please, can you read out his bio for us? Thank you. So, you just have to hold on. Okay, sort out the whole camera ish so that we can continue. Thank
Sorry, who's bio Precious?
you. Ugochukwu.
Okay, Ugochukwu Omodi. Sorry, I hope I got that right.
Yeah, no
He
worries.
got his first degree in 2011 at the University of Benin, Nigeria, and he majored in civil engineering. Shortly after graduation, he got a job with engineering procurement installation and construction company, where he started as a design engineer. Couple of years later, he got a promotion within the company as a project manager, where he starts with development, planning, implementation, and all that. Then after that, a few years later, he decided to further his studies, obtained his master's degree from the University of Ottawa, where he majored in civil engineering as well. A few months after graduation, he got a job with Teledin, a world leader in the design, development, and manufacture of leader instruments, where he brought his vast experience with leader products and worked as a technical manager. Then a year later, due to his active involvement with product management, he was made a product owner of one of the software, and he was tasked with the leading with leading the execution of the vision of products, managing the backlog, prioritizing features, tracking and reporting velocity of the team, guiding the team to deliver the minimum viable products according to the definition of done, and providing clear communication to the agile team and stakeholders, thereby managing their expectations. He's currently a senior product owner and currently tasked with designing, testing, implementing, and stabilizing the supply chain systems, ensuring that they are delivered with high quality and on time and within budget.
Precious, you're on mute.
Oh, Precious.
Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
can hear
hope
you.
you heard everything I said.
Yeah,
Yes, I
sure.
did. I had everything.
That was a
Wow, guys, did you see
hell of
that
a
bio?
resume.
That was a bio.
I mean,
That
that
was a
was that
bio.
was
My
that was what
bio.
they
Oh my
call
god.
curriculum vitae. I mean,
Oh my god. That was a bio. Oh my god. God, man. I get to this level. I mean, where will I gather all these experiences? All right, Chico, it's really nice having you. And
Thanks
I
for
can't wait
having
to
me.
hear how this started. Yeah, because I'm also a project manager, so I need to know how you transitioned and how you got to where you are right now. So do you mind turning on your camera first to see who Chico is?
Actually joining via my phone, so I'm holding my
Okay.
phone. I'll probably just keep the phone somewhere. So,
Okay.
okay. Hello,
What time
everybody.
is it? What time is it there?
It's
Hi.
10:58 a.m.
Oh,
Yeah, you guys are
sorry for
like
the
6 hours ahead. No, no, no worries.
inconvenience. All right, go on. So, how did you start? How did you jump out from Nigeria, first of all? How did you leave Nigeria?
Oh, well, like the bio stated, I graduated from University of Benin, civil engineering in 2011. Luckily, I graduated with the first class, so I had the opportunity to get interviews for jobs in Lagos. And fortunately for me, I got a job with Ariosh, the engineering procurement and installation company. Started out as a design engineer, field work, doing hustling, technically hustling. So I realized that during my designing years, I was doing a lot of project management functions, like, um, following up with teams, scheduling meetings, talking to stakeholders, talking to clients, getting projects done. So I realized that, okay, I'll have to give it a shot. And my boss then actually helped a lot because he kind of like, paved the way for me, gave me more tasks, even if I didn't really have any project management experience before. So I worked with the company for 6 years. And while I was in school, I've always had the mentality that I wanted to school abroad, get my master's abroad. And unfortunately for me, I didn't have the luck of getting scholarships. So the more I wait for scholarships, the more time I'm wasting. So I just decided that okay, I was just going to save up some money, and luckily the exchange rates then in Nigeria was still good. I think when I left, it was around 250 to 300 to $1. So I was able to save up some money, and then I Googled some schools. I applied to 3 schools. I got rejected for one, and then I got University of Ottawa granted me admission. So with that, with the little money I was able to gather, I was able to pay for my first term fees. Actually, it's for 3 terms. I paid for first term. Then when I came into Canada, Canada is a country where you can work and study. So I had to work to be able to pay for my remaining fees while I was studying. So all through this, I realized that, well, I'll need to sacrifice something if I want to achieve what I've set out to achieve. So I sacrificed my social life. So it was basically class, work, sleep, wake up, work, class, sleep. So there was no social life. There was no, hey, let's hang out. Hey, let's party. My mind was just, I need to pay my fees and I need to graduate from school. And luckily, everything worked fine. I was able to work and pay my fees and then also pay other bills. And, luckily, again, for me, after my master's, I think 2 months after my master's, I got a job with Teledyne. I started off with the products team. It's called LiDAR Products. It's what we call laser scanning, which is an industry that was growing as at when I started in 2011. But now it's a big industry in Nigeria. So almost, you'll see, if you really want to know more about laser scanning companies, you can just Google laser scanning companies. Laser scanning companies in Nigeria or in Lagos. A lot of them are in VI. You can just apply and thankfully, because I started off with a kind of company, laser scanning company, so I applied to a laser scanning company when I got to Canada, when I finished my master's, and thankfully I got the interview and then I got the job. So the experience I gathered from Lagos, I just brought everything. So I was like, I went from, I mastered, my civil engineering I did masters in civil engineering in Canada too. So I went from being a user of the equipment to working with the manufacturers of the equipment. So it was a very, very good transition. You get to see how these things are being manufactured. I was opportune to work with the products team, the engineering team, the project management team. In agile project management, it's called cross-functional team. You're working with these guys, you're working with marketing, you're working with product. So you're working with everybody, you're getting enough knowledge and experience as it goes by. And because I was a fast learner, and because due to my involvement in the development of the product, I was made the product owner. So the company itself, they manufacture hardware, and then they also build software. So I was able to manage the development of a particular software. There are several software in the company, but I was opportune to manage one of the software. So with the experience from that, it got to a point where it started getting boring and I needed another challenge. So I started, first thing I did was to pimp my LinkedIn. I had to optimize my LinkedIn. I had to get certifications. I had to, I subscribed for LinkedIn free learning, the premium where you get 1 month free. And then for some time, I had to be paying, I think, about $35 a month, just because I want to get some certifications from LinkedIn also. So I used that opportunity to learn and get everything that has to do with product management or project management, and anything that will personally make me develop. I started, learning from LinkedIn. I went to DataCamp, learned from DataCamp. Also, anything that has to do with, management of people, management of products. I started doing all those. So I just started bombarding my LinkedIn with certifications. And then there was one time I read online that if you want recruiters to contact you, you need to optimize your LinkedIn. And there are people out there collecting money to optimize LinkedIn for people, but because I'm a broke boy, I had to do it myself. Actually, it's something you can do yourself, and it's something that if you have the money, you can also pay people to help you do it. But I have a mentality that if it can be done by someone, then I can do it myself too. So I went online and I had to start. I fixed my headline of my profile, my header of my profile. I fixed my experience, made it more recruiter friendly. fixed my bio in LinkedIn, everything that will make a recruiter come in, search something, and if your name pops up, you look at it and you're like, wow, I need to, talk to this person. So after that, I think a couple of months later, I've been applying, like I was submitting like 50 applications to 100 applications per day on Indeed, on LinkedIn, on any Glassdoor. I just wanted a change of environment. I wanted to also get more money. The best way to, if you are any career, the best way to increase your earning potential is, moving from one company to another. I'm not advising that you move every year, but you just, it's a personal thing. You can decide to move every year. You can decide to move every 3 years. The thing is, if you're moving from, say, you're earning 60,000 per year. Definitely, when you're moving, you won't be earning less than 60. You'll be earning more than 60. So I wanted to increase my earning potential also. So I started submitting all those applications, doing interviews. And funny enough, I was not getting positive feedback from all that. The only time I got a positive feedback was when a recruiter actually came into my DM in LinkedIn. I was like, hey, I say a profile, like a profile. Will you be available for an interview? There's this company recruiting for a senior product owner. And I'm like, oh, wow, I've been submitting a lot of applications. I've been doing a lot of interviews and no positive feedback, but this one is just coming to me on a platter of gold. I did interview I did 3 different stages in 1 week. And after the week, they told me that they'll be going on with me. And yeah, here I am as a senior product owner with that's the Canada's biggest retail company.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's really amazing. Guys, did you hear what he said? He actually gave you guys a LinkedIn hack for free. Upgrading to premium and paying for 1 month. You can do like a free trial. Then after the free trial, you can cancel the subscription even if you don't want to pay. I actually did that. So when it was saying, I was like, okay, someone also did that. So I did it and I had to use that 1 month to finish the courses I selected on LinkedIn. So for you to grow, you have to put in the work, honestly. You want to earn big money, you have to do big work. That's
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So guys, if you have any questions, please drop it in this comment section so that we can also attend to that. So how is life in Canada? Canada is actually my dream country. I'm sorry, I am biased right now because I need to know.
Yeah, Canada
I need to
Canada
know
is Canada
yeah,
is
so I need
chill.
to know how
Like,
Canada. I'm sure they want to know too. Totally.
yeah, you can immigrate to Canada either through school or through permanent residence. I think they also the rural immigration, and then there's some in Atlantic Canada. But you can use any of these to immigrate if you want. There are also schools that are giving scholarships, like University of Saskatchewan, University of Calgary. There is University of Manitoba, University of Ottawa. It's somewhat difficult to get scholarship, but they still give. But it's not as good as the 3 universities I just mentioned. There are also colleges. You don't necessarily have to go through masters. You can go through postgraduate diploma. You can go through any certificates that the colleges offer. That's what most people do. Most of my friends that came in after me, they just go to search for colleges. They do the college 1 year. One good thing about Canada is when you school year, they'll give you a postgraduate work permit. Depending on the number of years. If it's 1 year, you get 1 year postgraduate work permit. If it's more than 1 year, you automatically get 3 years postgraduate. So after school, I got 3 years postgraduate work permit. So within that 3 years postgraduate work permit, I applied for my PR and I got my PR. I didn't even have to use the 3 years before getting PR. There are some people also that with the 1 year postgraduate work permit, they just, because when you school in Canada, you get more points for your permanent residence. So they just, once they finish schooling and they get that point, they just apply for PR and then the whole process will take about 3 to 6 months, and then you get your PR. So you don't even have to finish using your postgraduate work permit. And you can also apply for extension of your work permits. If you apply for PR and the PR process is taking longer than expected and your work permit is coming to an end, there is opportunity for you to apply for an extension. They will grant you the extension as long as you're a law-abiding citizen. You don't have any record of stealing or going to the police station here. So, and another thing about the country is that they are very welcoming. Not that there is no racism, but it's not as pronounced as maybe in the US or all these European countries. They are very, very down to earth people. I've been here 5 years, and it's been an amazing journey. Actually, I met my wife in Canada. Obviously, she's Nigeria also. So Canada has given to me more than I've given to Canada. That's just what I have to say.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so guys, you learned a thing or two about migrating to Canada, which is interesting. So if you have plans of leaving Nigeria, you know what to do. Start with your LinkedIn first. Optimize your LinkedIn account and then put yourself out there. Okay, I'm going to ask, how did your transition go from civil engineering to becoming a senior product owner?
Yeah,
So did your background in civil engineering help you out, or it was a different career path altogether?
No, it's not really different. Well, civil engineering is broad. You have structural, you have geomatics, you have water, you have transportation. So when I started off in Lagos, I went into geoinformatics, which is the laser scanning process. So my civil engineering experience, it has to do with the laser scanning itself has to do with measuring and getting, survey, more like surveying somewhere and getting information of that place that you're surveying. So it's not like I just completely left civil engineering. I still used some of the knowledge from my civil engineering days in the university to transition into that laser scanning aspect, and transitioning from that to project management and then to product management. Basically, when you're managing a product, you are also managing a project. So project management and product management just goes hand in hand. So it was not really difficult. It was more of like a smooth transition from going from that project management to product management, which is what I'm currently doing right now. And also, like I said, even with the product management that I'm doing right now, I'm still managing projects, so everything is just going hand in hand.
Oh, okay. For some people, it could look like a different career path, but on your own
Yeah,
path, it's easy.
I have colleagues that went from something completely and totally different to product management right now. I have people that went from being a customer service rep to being a product manager. I've seen people go from marketing. I've seen people go from anything, accounting, to managing products, managing projects. So it's just your personal, or I say, it's personal because it depends on what you want. If you have the mindset that oh my God, I'm just a customer service rep. All I do is just answer calls and help people fix their problems. I don't think I can succeed. No, of course, definitely you can, because all you just need is some courses. There are a lot of them out there right now. Just take any project course, any product course, try to take some certifications also, and boom, you're there. It's not rocket science. It's just how you can manage people and how you can manage processes and how you can, put one and two things together and making sure that whatever it is, whatever software it is that you are giving to people is not going to be buggy. It's going to be good software so that your clients and your customers keep coming back to, your company.
All right, thank you so much. Guys, if you have any questions, please drop it in the comment section so that we can answer it. So, Gochuku is so Gochuku, right? Did
Good
you
to go.
do any? Okay, that's fine. So, did you do anything relating to product design? Since you are
Well,
a product owner, did you
yeah,
partake in the design of the product?
no, I don't. I actually have
Okay.
people that are doing that are reporting to me, but it's something that's it's part of my personal goals of this year. Product design, UI, UX, because it's going to help you as a product owner when you know what your developers are doing. Uh, sometimes they just come and they start speaking their technical language, and you're just there like, okay, 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 but you don't understand. So it's ideal if it makes more sense if you have an idea. You don't have to be a guru like baddest guy. I can code everything. You don't even have to know how to code. I don't know how to code. I just started learning SQL last year. I started learning Python last year because I've seen some of these programming, things. They send things through Jira. You're looking at the code and you have no idea what you're doing. But now, since I started, I now have idea. If I see any code, I have an idea. Even if I don't have in-depth knowledge of that particular code, at least I know that, okay, this is what they're trying to do, and yeah, this is what they're trying to achieve. So yeah, so that's it. It's some people will tell you that you have to know how to code before you can manage products, but no, that's a lie. You don't necessarily have to know how to code. You can manage anything without knowing how to code. But my advice is, like I've advised myself, like I've started taking courses, is to at least have a knowledge of all these design things. Even if it is using Figma or any design product designing tool, you can mock up some things that you send to your developers. That's okay. This is what I want.
All right, thank you so much for that answer. Guys, did you notice something about his journey? He's a professional. He's earning six figures. Am I correct? He's earning
I'm still
six
a broke
figures,
boy.
and oh my God, what's the excuse? What's the excuse? You don't have any excuse to remain where you are. I mean, like the theme of this event is taking charge of your life. This is the best time. It's still the beginning of the year, so this is the best time to leave your comfort. See, there is nothing in your comfort zone. Honestly, there is really nothing in your comfort zone. Take myself for instance. I actually did a lot of moving last year. A lot. I did not take chances, and here we are today. Design Pub is already a success. We're beginning our trainings from next year. Thank you. So, guys, you don't have an excuse to not start or choose a career. You don't have an excuse not to begin something new. Don't be afraid. It's okay to be afraid, but then don't remain in your comfort zone. Don't let fear keep you at a place. So, I have another question for you, Gochuku. Um, what was your first pay like
I actually have a question,
as
but
a
I've been
civil
finding it
engineer?
difficult to type.
Please type a question or hold on
I've been finding
so
it
that
very
when he's
difficult to
done.
type.
Okay, hold on. There'll
All
be a
right,
time
thank
for
you.
you to speak. So, how was the first pay like as a product
In
manager?
Nigeria? Oh, in Canada?
Uh, okay, let's start from Nigeria. What was the pay like as a civil engineer in Nigeria, and
Uh,
then
uh,
what was the
uh,
charge?
yeah, I started as a trainee, NYSC. So I started with 60,000 naira as at 2011. So that was what they pay like coppers, youth coppers. And then I moved from that to, I think, about after my service year, I moved from that to like about 120, and then from 120 to about 240. I think I left with about 400. I was earning like 400 before I left Nigeria in 2017. My first professional job in Canada, I think I started with I started with like 56K per year CAD, and well, now it's now double what I used to earn.
Guys,
Like I
like I
said,
said, thank you.
if you want to increase your earning potential, then you just need to start doing all these things to improve yourself, taking all these courses, putting yourself more out there, and then before you know it, you're going from where you used to be to where you want to be.
What's the job again? I think I'm dropping right in.
Product.
Okay.
I'm a senior product owner now.
Okay, there's money there. Maybe you
Wow.
see.
Yeah, there is
Okay.
money in product management and project management.
Yeah, there is money in project management, product design. There is real money.
Yeah,
So for
yeah.
those that are interested in product design, right, we have a product design course you can learn. We're going to meet you where you are, even if you're a novice, you can become a professional like Ugochukwu, so that we can invite you for events to come and share your story. And I really can't wait to see professionals. I really can't wait to see us groom professionals, out of our academy, doing good for themselves, because that would give me a sense of accomplishment. So we have a question in the comment section from Chamaka. Okay. She said, did you do courses in product management before your first job in Canada?
Actually, no. I was very lucky to work in a company where they have product managers and project managers. So I was kind of like learning on the job. So it was while I started, doing the product management work proper that I started taking courses. I took some free courses from product school. Product school is actually very, very expensive. I think their tuition is about $5,000. I don't have that kind of money. So
Wow.
I just take the free courses from their site. They have a lot of free courses, good free courses from product school. You can go to product school and just search for their free courses. They have quite a lot, very good. And then I took some courses from Product Board, and I took some courses from LinkedIn, and then I took some courses from Udemy. So every year, it's not, all these courses are also not cheap because you need to have a budget for. Luckily, I work in a company where when you do all these courses and you have your certificates, you can let them know and then they'll reimburse you. So that's what I always do. Once I'm done with my courses, I get my certificate, I let my boss know, hey boss, I just finished this course, it's going to help me, blah, 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 blah. So he puts in a request for them to reimburse me. So that makes it easier for me to get every year before the start of the year. Just Google product school, you see product school and product board. You see a lot of free products and projects. If you need project management courses, you can always go to Udemy. And if you want to learn all these, like Precious said now, product design, you can talk to Precious. I know it's kind of like an online learning, right?
Yes,
Yeah. So yeah, products. Richard in his first this thing, he talked about how you can get gigs from what's the name
Upwork,
of that?
Fiverr.
Upwork. Yeah,
Upwork.
I'm also on Upwork.
Yeah.
I look for freelancing because believe me, bills in Canada will kill you. So you need to look for other things that you can use to, be paying off your bills. So I'm on Upwork. You can also get on Upwork. You can get product design gigs on Upwork, and yeah, they pay well. At least if you're in Nigeria and you're converting from USD because it's USD, you're converting from USD to Naira. You know how much think it's about 600 and something now. So if you are getting a gig for like $100, that's like about 60K. Uh, so it's more of again a personal determination, a personal decision that this year I want to learn product design. I want to be designing things. Once you start learning, if you don't practice, believe me, you're going to forget everything. So when you learn and you practice, you practice, you go to all these freelancing sites and get gigs. That's where you start building yourself. You start building your what's it called? You start building yourself and your career. And before you know it, you're getting good gigs in overseas, not just in Nigeria.
So thank you very much, guys. That's like one of the things you stand to gain if you become a trainee under our academy, because we have internship opportunities. Once we are done training you for a period of time, we send you out for internship. And trust me, these opportunities are really important to us more than it's important to you, because you are going to represent us. So it is very, very important for us to train you to be industry ready, so that when you go there, you can be confident in yourself and give your best. So the next question someone asked is, what's the difference between product design and project management?
Product design.
Yeah, product management and project management.
For project management, you're basically handling projects. As a project manager, you can be managing multiple projects. You can, depending on what it is that you what's it called? Depending on the projects or what it is you want to achieve. A project can be maybe you guys want to, or maybe you're in charge of the end of the year party for your office. That's a project on its own. From start to finish, you're talking to people, you're working with people. And for product management, it's basically products. It's maybe, for instance, this product, this bottled water is a product. You have someone that will work with developers, will work with engineers, will work with marketing team, we will work with, you work with everybody in the department just to make sure that this product comes out good and that customers love the product. So as a product manager, the manufacture of this product can be a project. So the project manager is managing the project to manufacture this. And you, the product manager, you are making sure that this product, which is a project, is successful. So they go hand in hand. It's like they're like sisters.
All right, thank you so much for that. So we're going to move quickly to Emmanuel. Do you see any opportunities regarding product design in Africa, considering the experience you have now? And how does working in Canada compare to opportunities available in Africa from a software development perspective?
Yeah, well, in places like this, Canada, US, or anywhere, there are things that you can't do as an employee, or rather, you have rights. Should I say rights? Your employers cannot just sack you without reason. Your employers cannot just say, okay, this guy is not doing well, I'm sacking this guy. No, you have rights because it's a country where there is law. So even if your employer is going to sack you, they are going to give you like time. And I would say your experience in working in Africa is actually top notch also, because there are Canadian and US employees that are always looking out for talent in Africa, Nigeria especially. I know a company here in Canada that one of my colleagues works in, and his boss told him that, hey guy, can't you like get some more people like you from your country to come work with us? like, he has the image of the country is now so good. That's what he was able to do. He was able to let them know in that company that Nigerians are actually smart, Nigerians are hustlers, Nigerians are goal-getters, Nigerians, if you tell them, I need this thing done by the end of the week, they are done before the end of the week. They know where they're coming from. They know what they left at home. So they just do everything within their power to be better, to be the best when they come over here. So the experience you're gaining while even working in anywhere in Africa, don't don't belittle yourself. Don't think there is someone in abroad that knows the same thing that is better than me. You'll be surprised that those people are even getting information from people like you in Africa. So that's just what I want to say about that. Don't belittle yourself. Don't look down on yourself. When you're good at what you're doing,
Mhm.
you'll be the best.
All right, thank you so much, Gochuku. Guys, the most important thing is getting a skill. I can't overemphasize that. Get a skill first. Be good at what you do. Trust me, there are plenty of opportunities. So the last question here is, can an onboarding associate in a company be called a project manager?
Sorry, come again. Can what?
Can an onboarding associate in a company be called project manager?
I didn't get that. Onboarding?
Onboarding, yeah, onboarding associate called a project
Okay.
manager. The answer is no.
Well, well, I'll just say you can be if if for any reason you see yourself doing any project management activity, you're a project manager in your own way. If you see yourself talking to clients and being involved in project initiation, being involved in the execution of the project, if you see yourself talking to project stakeholders, uh, um, even if you don't technically put that job title in your resume, but if you see yourself doing project management activities, you can definitely call yourself a project manager.
Okay, but I would like to add that the danger about that is the fact that you're not completely a project manager. Yeah, because I won't say project management is just a title. No, it's not. Even if you are um, doing some of the activities. So for you to be on the safe side, to answer that title, you have to get a certification, right, to be on the safe side. But if you're just recruiting people, that's not the job of a project manager. So, Grace, you want to say something? You can turn on your mic now. Grace, are you there? Okay, no response. So we are moving on.
Yeah, I'm here.
So what's the question?
I wanted to ask about the LinkedIn free course that I was talking about. It wasn't that clear. The LinkedIn free courses help the team. Can I like that?
Okay, she's asking about the LinkedIn free courses. So Grace, it's just for you to subscribe to the premium
Okay, it's
subscription,
premium. I see.
right? So yeah, once you do that, you have access to different LinkedIn learning courses that you can take within that
Okay.
period of time.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So thank you. Thank you so much. This was an exciting session because we didn't just only learn about product management and project management. We learned a bit about jobs in Canada, life in Canada, and this is really interesting. So thank you so much for leaving your convenience to be here with us. Thank you. I appreciate
Thanks
that.
for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So, guys, we are moving on to our third speaker in the person of Dinu. Dinu, are you ready now? Are we good to go with you? Dinu? Dinu, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
All right, thank you. So, over to you now.
I don't need to show my face again, right?
You can still show your. I'm sure you want to see this boss of two thriving companies. So,
I'm not.
if
Am I
you
beautiful? I'm not beautiful now. I'm not a.
all right, it's fine. If you're not comfortable, that's fine. You can go on.
Yeah. Let me just. Okay. So good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for the invite, Precious. I do appreciate the invite, and yeah, that's my face there. So I do appreciate the invite, and so here I am. Here I am. Here I am. And I've been listening to the sessions. They're like mind blowing and all like that. So today we practically
We have
I
plenty
chose
questions for you.
for me
Plenty questions.
for
Yes,
me.
we have
Oh,
plenty.
I trust God's grace to answer them. I mean,
Okay. All right. So, moving on. How did you start? Like, what was the first? Which of the companies did you found first? Which of them?
oh, okay. Gologo Dice was the
Yeah.
first.
Okay. So, how long has it been running for?
Gologo Dice has been running. Well, I like to say it is something that I've been working on since 2020. But it was
Okay.
in 2022 I officially registered Gologo Dice as a company, and yes, so practically, let's say officially, legally, it is. I think it will be a year. No, it is already a year. I didn't even celebrate it. That's true. Hi. It was a year about 3 days ago.
Okay.
I
Oh,
think it
okay.
was a year the day before. I'm going to make a post. So that will be my post tonight. Guy, I didn't even remember how time
Okay.
flies. So, but it
Mhm.
is actually something I've been working on since October 2020. Not October, like since
Okay.
April 2020. Yeah.
Okay. So, how did it start? Like, what made you start Colloquial Diaries? What made you start the company? I mean, you're just 21. That's like 2020, you were 19. Oh my God. And you're thinking about starting the company. Oh my God. Okay, so how did it get started?
That question, can I really remember? Well, it's
Just try.
I have been writing since I was 8 years old. At least that was the time I could remember I started writing. When I'm talking about writing, I'm talking about writing storybooks, writing poems, and the likes of. Eventually, don't mind my accent. I beg go. Eventually, in in 2019, someone showed me to Amazon Publishing, and I really loved what I saw. And I got into Amazon Publish. I published my first book, and because of my background in actually trying to get published in terms of books, I had to go ahead, and then I dug deep. I learned about how the Nigerian book publishing system was working like, and the deficiencies in the system, and I wrote my own book on book publishing called Viral Author Blueprint. And but initially, it was practically like it came in as a sequence. It wasn't something like I just started off with the understanding that I wanted to start a Go Local Diaries. No. So initially, while I was doing all these findings, and I just wanted to make my profit off my knowledge of understanding Amazon publishing as maybe fast as possible. So that's why I wrote the book. Very a lot of blueprint. Like, Mama will sharply chop. May I sharply tell people say they fit publish book on top Amazon. Jare. May I collect money. May I forget that one. May I move on. So in the process of promoting the book, I spent a lot of money that I made wonderfully well. Spending like I don't remember in details, but like spending like times five of what I made, and maybe two or five people bought the book eventually, but spending a whole lot. But while marketing and all, I was expanding my mind. I actually also hosted like a live before I wrote the book. I hosted like a course. It was just on and on and on like that. So one thing led to another. After I finished the book, I was in my thought, and even while I was in my thought before I wrote the book, like during that COVID time in 2020, so I was reading a lot of books. I was reading a lot of books, Think and Grow Rich, The Alchemist, Rich Dad Poor Dad, you name all those financial books and all, and then they were quite building my mindset on what I really wanted to do in life. At the time also, I had stumbled up the film Coco, the Academy Award film. I don't know if you know that Spanish animation like this. Or color is the sky, I am. You tell me that it's red, I am. Where should I put my shoes? I am. You said, put them on your head. I am. You tell me, Mpoko loco, Mpokitito loco, the way you keep me guessing. I'm nothing and I'm guessing. I can't it as a blessing. That I'm only Mpoko loco. So practically, like that's Precious is laughing. Why are you laughing? I'm telling you my story and you're laughing at my story. Well,
No,
it's all
no, I'm
good.
enjoying the story.
So that song, it was the story of a guy, Miguel, that wanted to do music, and the family, it was the point is in that movie. You can go check it out. Coco, Coco is a very, very wonderful 2022 or 2019 movie. It showed me some things about my personal dream. So I really, really, I really keyed into. Don't mind, I'll be moving now. My system is that I have to plug it. Yeah. So I really, really keyed into the story, and that was it. So it was from there I was like, I wanted to go crazy. I wanted to go crazy for what I was working on. And my own definition of going crazy was going out of the normal of what everybody does about their dreams and all. And what is the normal? Go to school, read your book, and those kind of things. And as at God, this story is getting long. I wanted to quickly round up. God.
Shall cut it short.
So I was in I started school. I was in my 400 levels when I came back from the. So I was in my 400 level. So when we came back from IT, everything was just happening. Everything was just happening. It was in that whole process that the thought for Goloko Diaries was born, and then Loco itself, LOKO, came from LOKO came from the word loco, the Spanish word loco, which means crazy. So it means go crazy diaries. And diaries is a represent. I actually wrote a book. My first book is Diary 101. You could check it out on Amazon. Diary 101. It was a being on the Earth surface too, where I was saying everybody is supposed to have a diary where they record, their personal experiences, especially along their journey towards building their personal legends. So go crazy diary. So go crazy practically like and record your journey. So recording your journey as you're going crazy for your dream. So that is where go crazy diary. Sorry, go local diaries came from. So it was practically like me going out of the norm. And so what I did was that the real vision and with yes, the initial vision, which is still the vision, is we want to be the brand, we want to be the media and publishing company that when you are thinking about success, when you are thinking about success and building relevance in life or following your personal legend, you are thinking go local diaries because we're helping you to go crazy on your success journey. And yeah, and even our mantra is taking your success on a journey. So, and that is it. So that is really how Goloku came into being. And
Wow.
yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. That was an interesting story. You can imagine someone saying they're enjoying the story. But guys, we need to be time conscious as well. All right. The second question is: we see that LinkedIn is one place that people are finding it very difficult to find their footing. Someone like me, I knew about LinkedIn. I think that was in 2020. But when I came to the app, I was like, okay, I have to like have a PhD degree first before I can come here because all of this people I'm doing, I can't even complete. So that was what I said to myself. I just opened the account. So it was later last year. It was last year I took LinkedIn seriously. I was brought into LinkedIn because I was transitioning in my career. I was trying to go into data analytics. So that's why I had to like, okay, you know what, let's do this. So how did you discover LinkedIn? How come you have about something thousand followers LinkedIn story?
Oh God. How come I have 10,000, 20 something thousand followers? I don't know. They just decided to follow me. Oh. That's just on a lighter note, actually. So, me going to LinkedIn was actually a coincidence. It was a total coincidence. Like, I was initially building my WhatsApp contact as at 2020. Yes, I was already having about very close to 3,000 WhatsApp contacts, and that was what I was really build. I was keen on building. Well, it will shock you that up to now, I just have barely over 3,000 WhatsApp contacts because I've left building my WhatsApp. Like it doesn't interest me any longer. So, but that was what I was initially building, and then I was also sorry, hold on. My this thing is saying it needs more sauce than yeah. So I continued building my WhatsApp, and as at for vision and for 2020, I had a vision 2020 that I was following, and that vision was I was writing poems and then I was writing quotes every single day of 2020. And it was really, really massive. I was sharing via Instagram. If you go to my Instagram, you will see some of my posts. I've actually archived all of them because maybe when I come back to Instagram, and when I've gotten to some of the place I dream of, I'll start releasing those deep quotes. I posted deep quotes those times, man. They were so deep. I know, but I've archived all of them, right?
Wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom.
Wisdom. Don't leave me.
So, and funny enough, the meaning of Denu is deep. Denu means deep, like which is deep. So, that was what I was doing back then. It was Instagram and WhatsApp, but WhatsApp majorly, and then Instagram was like, oh, let me try to see what they're really building there. And I was following people, the likes of Dan Locks and every one of them, sure. So that was so one of those days, I think in November or December 2020, someone just one of my WhatsApp, G's, we still talk. Um, in fact, I was talking with you yesterday over the events we're organizing, and he just sent us a broadcast that he has written his first article on LinkedIn. I was like, okay, first article. I don't even see that LinkedIn part because I've not heard of it, but I think I had the app. But it's just like one of those system apps that I just did that we don't open. So I didn't even know there was. So he said he has written his first article on LinkedIn. What was in my head was, he has go and find one place like Medium to go and write article. Let me show that. Let me show face. Go and like and support and comment because I like doing those kind of stuff. Like at least show the guy will be like, yes, that's my bro, that kind of thing. So I went and I read the post. I comment. I now wanted to make my comment. That's where problem started. They said I have to create account. So I created account. I commented. So when I was
Continue. We get to the question part. Just
okay.
continue.
So when I was about leaving the app, those people just showed me some people that from your contacts and some blue buttons connect. I clicked like maybe 25 or so, and then I left their app for them. but the seed had been sown, and LinkedIn started being in my thoughts. When 2021 came, that I was planning, 2021 came with me planning for, as a 2021, there was something called Goloko Profit Scheme. That time Goloko Diaries was not fully formed, but it was coming in as Goloko Profit Scheme. Like Goloko had different faces, all right. So there was a Goloko Profit Scheme, and that was what I was working on then. And it was like an affiliate system, an affiliate marketing system. So that helps promote my book via a lot of blueprint, obviously. And so I was working on that. And while I was working on it, the team I built then, I built a lot of things by the way. I've lost a lot. I've managed some, I've maintained some, I've lost some of them, but we thank God. So the team I built then, I was building then. So we were now like taxing ourselves of, okay, this is how we want to go. And we had this 1,000 domination, online domination, and that was what we're moving with at that time. So we now started planning. The point is, I chose LinkedIn and Telegram as my own means of dominating with the affiliate scheme, the marketing stuff, and that was really what was going on. That was really what was going on. And along the line, in February 22nd, I think the night of February 22nd, where we were making our major plans for the domination. Obviously, we wanted to start from like the next from like tomorrow. My phone went down and then fell to death, and I was practically like paralyzed with only my system, LinkedIn and Telegram. So it was more like, oh, last, they have seen that, oh, this is what I wanted to do. So the point was in February 2020, on the 23rd of February 2021, I made my first post on LinkedIn, and my first post on LinkedIn was, come and buy my book, Viral Author Blueprint. And that was what I posted, all right. And it was really awesome. It was really awesome. So now to what made me stay on LinkedIn, that it's still making me stay on LinkedIn, all right. On Instagram, I had as at then, because I was building WhatsApp and Instagram. As at then, I had 800 followers. It was when I discovered LinkedIn that I left Instagram that my followers reduced to like 600. It's now back at 800 though. So as at then, I had 800 followers. And then that I was really posting my vision 2020. I will post one post. I'll make one post. That post with my 800 followers, I'll have like maybe 5 likes, 15 impressions on Instagram with my 800 followers. Nice. So I made a post on an app, on a blue app, where because of that little number of buttons I clicked before I left the app, I think I was able to already have accrued maybe 8 to 18 followers or connections, 11 connections and maybe like 18 followers. So, and then I made a post, and then I got, is it 2 or 5 likes? Till today, it's still 7 likes that is on that post. I think I got 2 or 5 likes in one day. And then I went to check my impressions. I was seeing 52 impressions. I was like a Mr. Boy. I was getting 52 impressions. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. Like, because impressions really means views on your post, all right? And then I knew how WhatsApp was working. When I post a stick, I know the number of people that view my post. And I was like, wait, oh, even my WhatsApp that I have 2,000 plus contacts, 2,500 plus contacts, I'm like, yes, I actually like maybe 200 WhatsApp status views. But yeah, on this app, nobody knows me before on this app. Just 11 people and maybe 18, and then I'm getting 52 impressions. I was like, we die here today. We die here. And that was it for me. That was what kept me staying. And I continue posting. Like I like there was a time I was going, I think last year, that I was going through all my old posts. I was like, wait, guy. Hey, so me, I was posting and I was consistently having 5 likes, 2 likes, and I was posting with all the vibes in the world. And I remember there was a particular time I remember, like in my early days of LinkedIn, I walked up to my hands and to Rosaline. You could check her out, Rosaline Innocent on LinkedIn. Rosaline Innocent. I walked up to her, I was like, "Are you on LinkedIn? Are you on LinkedIn?" And she was like, "Yes." I was like, Do you know LinkedIn is a great place? How many followers do you have on LinkedIn? She was like, No. I didn't ask her how many followers. I was like, do you know how many followers I have on LinkedIn? I said 26. Ah, that place, that place is very wonderful. And I asked her how many followers does she has on her LinkedIn. She now said she has 150. Guy, I was depressed for a second, but I had to like, it was just the experience for me. So these were just the little things that gave me the courage. So I told her like, don't worry, I was going to kind of exceed you. So the all of it for me is not necessarily the fact that a lot of people have followed me. It's the fact that I just got a space where I was able to share my story and then share it, and then people were viewing and it started generating a lot of people to follow me. I did LinkedIn for 6 months before I had like maybe 5,000 followers, and then this is my by February now I'll be 2 years on LinkedIn, so it's awesome. So at least 2 years, 2 years is what you will not see. It is 22,000 followers you'll be seeing.
Wow. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. That's amazing. See, one thing you said, and I really, really need to do is that Instagram, Twitter, you can never, those people are stingy with following. You can never get as much followers as you get on LinkedIn, honestly. LinkedIn is one of the easiest platforms to connect with people. Like, people literally see you for who you are, for what you do. They can relate. They can actually say, I know this guy, he's into this, he's a content writer, he's a designer. They actually see what you do. And it's really, really, yes, LinkedIn is like a family of like minds. So LinkedIn is very, very important. That was why we told most of our students, you have to open an account. Even if you don't have an account on LinkedIn, you have to open one, because that is a place you can sell yourself. That's a place you can grow, and you'll so be happy with your. You'll be so happy. Okay. Um. Moving on. What about your second company? Because you are a founder of two companies. So yeah, how are you able to manage? It's a lot. It's a lot. So how are you able to manage these two companies coupled with other things you're doing as well?
Number one, and it's not me looking down on myself. No, it's not even, let's not even talk about looking down on myself. Um these are like still startups, all right? And yes, there's a whole lot of sweat I'm putting in, like practically. I even fight with, because I stay with my older ones and my grandfather. I probably like fight with them because I have a small home office here. This is my home office. You can see my board just by me here. So like I'm always practically here. I wake up in the morning, maybe do some little chores, and then I just come sit down here 24 hours. I stand up, what I'm going to buy is fearless or to go and eat. You get that kind of thing. So it is more like that's how it is really. That means there's a lot of work I'm doing, but again, it's just part of the building. I was the one that decided the companies, or sorry, the problem that I said I wanted to solve. They were sitting gingerly on their home. They gave me architecture to. They gave me architecture. Sorry, I went to school to read architecture. I could just have said, let me just focus on my architecture. Even focusing on that is another problem on its own. But the point was, I was the one looking for problem to solve, and I found problem, and I'm solving it. So I think the reason why I'm saying all of that is because there's this cloud around. Oh, it's a startup founder, and that is what they are celebrating. A lot of us were celebrating the fact that someone is starting, and yes, obviously, it is very needed for us to celebrate. Like, because sometimes I feel lonely. Sometimes a lot of startup founders feel lonely. Like, they don't even know what to do, and those celebrations, they come, especially when they come in at that time. It gingers them to push further what they are doing. But usually we should not just like, it's just like someone that is going abroad now and people are like, hey, successful person, and they are interviewing him like he has gone abroad, but the person is going to start a new life abroad. The person is probably going to first of all be a cleaner at some people's house, that kind of struggle. So usually the starting of a thing, why we should not what's the word, why we should not despise it. We should not celebrate it too much. We should celebrate the journey. and or help push the person and come instead of always, hey, congratulations, congratulations. Like, see, oh, how are you doing? How are you doing? Like, in the depth of how are you doing? How is what you are building? What are your challenges? And help someone push through and get to where they can actually get. So now back to Danu's money cycle. You know, when I started making money online in November 2021. That was when I made, no, no, not November. God have mercy on me. Sorry. It was in August or June, sorry, June 2021. That was the first time. Before then, and it was still LinkedIn too. Because before LinkedIn, the highest money that was in my account, that I ever sat in my account was how much? Yeah, 30,000 naira that my uncle from abroad sent to me. And I was a 400 level student, imagine. My school fees don't get into mine because my daddy works in the school, so he pays directly, and there's this staff discount that he gets, so I don't get to have my school fees in my bank account, which would have maybe expanded my, should I say, credit limit or something. So the highest money that I've started in my bank account before then was 30,000 naira. So as of June, that was when like 50,000 was sitting down in my bank account, and it was because someone connected with me, and I was like, I messaged the person, oh, do you need someone to help you publish book? And the person was like, okay, let's do business. And the person wired the money. I was like, wow, nice one. So I started making money, and my mommy was concerned that I was not having personal financial, management or something. So I've been reading books about finance and all, and I've been preparing my mind subconsciously for being a personal finance coach or advisor or what have you. However, it didn't dawn on me until I think January 2022, when some way, somehow I got to realize that my sister, the one that followed me, that will always ask for data money of 1,000 naira that I will give. She had a savings of 50,000 naira, and me that will give her 1,000 naira data, I had maybe like 5K. And I've even given her 1K for data already. So the remaining is like transportation for me to go to where I'm going. And I was the one that was making the money. So I was like, nice one. It's like it is time for us to actually be intentional about this financial stuff. So in February 2022, I now got a small book. I borrowed some of the book. He has not returned it. Maybe I'll go to his house to go and collect my book. So I got a small book, and then it was from there I kind of established the kind of principle I wanted to follow about. It was telling of financial, and management the godly way. It was just a short pamphlet like this, and then I read the book. I think in maybe 12 hours. 12 hours. I read it within 2 hours or something, so it wasn't that long. So when I finished reading the book, I established in my mind that 10 for tithes, 10 for investment purposes and planning, 10 for emergency. I've not been religious to it at it though, but at least it is an established content, and it became a gospel I wanted to preach. But the way I'm wired, I don't know. I get I the way I take accountability for myself is when I gather a lot of people around me. So I just went on LinkedIn because I started sharing my experiences on LinkedIn. I was like, okay, this is what I'm thinking of. I want to start saving. The post I really wrote was the fact that, oh, I discovered my sister had 50K in her bank account, and me that she was always collecting 1K for data for. And then practically it was a poll, and people voted that they wanted to join the personal finance, saving, especially because I emphasize on savings for investment. So, and that's how people joined in, and people started joining. We had Within the first month, we had over 100 persons on the group already. By the next month, we decided to prune the group, and then we reduced everybody. In the, Integrity, that was how I met Integrity, who is currently the president of DMC and also the CEO. I'm the founder and chairman. Thank you so much. So he realized that, yeah, the fact that, a lot of people, when you make announcement, a lot of people crowd in, and not a lot of them sustain the energy. So it was like we should prune the group. So because it was really handling everything well, I was like, oh, don't worry, we are the president, just handle these things already. So by the next month, we started announcing like a week before, and by the next month, it was everybody just woke up and realized like 50 people have been removed from the group. So we reduced to 55 because we had a system. So everybody that did not like fill our database, he removed every one of them. Until today, someone was still messaging me last week that she knows maybe she was removed or she left the group, but she was going through a lot. Kiniko Kinko, I said, don't worry, you don't need to be with us for you to be successful. The point is, you were a part of us. You were a part of us, and then we've impacted your lives. Just go on and live on to be great. So
Okay.
It was moving like that. Practically, what we did was we had a savings group on PiggyVest and we were saving our 10% for investment. That was the one we said we were monitoring, but we're also coaching
Wow.
ourselves that oh, don't forget your 10% for emergency and the 10% you give to God. And by May, me and Integrity met offline for the first time. Sorry, we call ourselves investors. So me and investor Integrity met offline for the very first time, and it was really an awesome meeting. And I was seated. Practically, I was the one that started the money cycle, right? I was the one that started the money cycle, but I was seated and I was listening to him tell me about the money cycle. I was like, nice one. So now you get the dream, all right? So the point was from that meeting, we realized that we needed to kind of
Okay.
go and establish. We needed to become a company, and that's how we registered. On the 13th of August, we got our official documentation as a limited liability company. August 12th, yes, August 12th, we had our first, offline. We had the start your post factoring 1.0, and then it has been growth upon growth ever since then, growth upon growth. Currently, I said we reduced. When we went official as a legal company, we now put a price tag to joining our cycle. It started with I think 5,500. Now it's currently at 10,000 naira. So when it started with 5,500, now that it is paid, not everybody will want to join in like that. But we've been having the growth trajectory of as at the time we were registering, I think we were still like 60 people, but currently, after what's the word? After we have gone official and legal, we are now like 83 or 89. I don't know the numbers, but around 80 to 90. And about that means about 15 to 20 people have been registering with money, to join the cycle. And that's really awesome for me. So that is practically how DMC started. So, but the point is, DMC is more like I make money from Go Local Diaries. I make money with Go Local Diaries, and I it is through DMC I express my personal finance, and muscle. So that's really is why carrying others along. I'm sorry, Omo, that's a lot of words, man. I could I don't know.
Okay. It's all right. We are loving your story, and trust me, we don't want to go anywhere. So we are just going to take some questions. Clavia, are you there? Clavia. Okay, I don't think she's there, so I'll
Okay.
just do it. All right, can you read out the questions, please? Thank
Oh,
you. Yeah.
whose bio, please?
Can you read out the questions
Oh,
from the
yeah, sure.
comments?
Sure. Um, Let me see where it started from. So there's a question from Emmanuel. He said, "What was your inspiration aside it being your inborn quality, and how did that help you with what you do now?"
Well, that question is strong though. What was my inspiration? For what exact okay, what was my inspiration? Whether for Goloku Diaries or well, what really is my inspiration is just my own personal, should I say, oh, my writing job. That is Goloku Diaries. What was my inspiration? Um Using Amazon, I realized that there were some stuff that was not available for Nigerians. That's number one. Then also coming to Nigeria, I saw some limitations in the media and publishing phase sphere, and that's number two. So practically those two things coupled together, I was like, oh, it made me say, let me start on a journey to build something that is key as a solution to those things I realized and discovered. So practically that is my main thing. However, beyond that, the major inspiration was the fact that I watched Coco, that Academy Award film, and then I wanted to take my success on a journey. However, I didn't want to go alone, and that was why I had to found the company.
All right, thank you. Clavia, next question, please.
Emmanuel, does that answer your question? So Next question is from Chamaka. She said, Daniel, so when you don't have product to sell on LinkedIn or digital skills, but you create content, how does that help you with getting jobs from from recruiting companies?
That question. Ah, okay. When you don't have, please can you recap?
When you don't have products to sell on LinkedIn or digital skills, but you can create content, how does that help you with getting jobs from recruiting companies?
The truth is, everybody wants to. You have to be known. Just like I think it was Mr. Ogochukwu that was saying that optimize your LinkedIn, at least build it to express what you're known for. Thank God you don't even have a problem here. You can already create content about around and um, about what you do as a person. All right. So you create content about what you do. You just go ahead and create content about who you are, about what you do. I remember when I was in architecture school, I was always talking about, being in architecture school, and I've had instances of people who thought, maybe I'll be focusing on architecture. Actually, please, I'll still be doing a number of architecture later, but more in the business space of space. You know, um, the point is just tell stories, tell stories, tell stories. You wake up today, you tell stories about what you're doing as a person. You want to get a job, obviously. You're already doing something in the capacity of getting that job. Maybe you're working on a course, or you're in school, or you're learning something as regards it. So tell your stories, show your craft, and yeah, start conversations. There's a whole lot to it, but that will not be for this session. That will not be for this session. I'll not be able to cover it. I'll not be able to cover it for the session, honestly. So, but all those ones does it well, and you don't just want to show your craft and everything. You also want to be consistent. Like I said, the major point in my first talk was uh, people see the 22,000 followers, but not the 2 years. All right. So and I can boast of it, of the fact of having posted over 8,500 content on LinkedIn so far. There was a day I posted 10 times. You can you can go crazy as that. So, but the point is, I've always been here and I remain here. So remain, um be consistent at showing who you are until you get heard, and until your voice gets heard. Just like this reference, this parable in the Bible where Jesus was talking about a king that was not noble, and then there was this woman who was always going to the king's palace and requesting from him the same thing over and over again because of the penitency of that woman. Is it penitency or the persistency? One of the two. It is just all our Englishes. So because of our persistence, the king had to bow. So even water doesn't have strength, but water, when it continually beats on a rock, is going to break the rock into pieces. All right. So if water that is as light as air, and that is as infinitesimal as anything, because water alone, without being in an enclosure, it doesn't carry any weight. If water can continually beat at the hardest of substance like a rock, if you can consistently create content, eventually the hardest of people that are your destiny helpers, they will come to your DM, just like Mr. Ogochukwu has said. They will come to your DM and they will offer, I have a job for you. And that is when your life will change. So please, the point is really consistency. Just keep showing up.
All right, thank you so much. That was really amazing. Guys, sometimes I'm very difficult in relating to others. If you don't give up, trust me, you'll become a success story. That's the difference between the success stories you have today and ordinary people. If you don't give up on your dreams. I read a post somewhere. Someone said, respect your dream enough not to give up. I mean, if you say you want to do this thing, you have to respect it so much. Just the way you reverence God, respect that dream, give it a chance to stand on its own. And you see that at the end of the day, you have a story to tell, just like all our speakers are telling us their story, how it started, how the journey has been. So thank you so much, Dino. This was an amazing session. Guys, he has a seminar coming up on the 21st of January in Lagos. So if you are around the environs of Lagos, find yourself, carry yourself to that location because trust me, you wouldn't want to miss out in that opportunity to get financially educated.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Thank you so much for having me,
My
bro.
voice is
I
very
really
loud.
appreciate it.
Okay. All right, thank you so much, Dino. Right now, we are calling on Uche, or before we call on Uche, for those that have been having LinkedIn questions, right? Dino is having a program by 7 p.m. He's going to be breaking it down with other specialists on how to on how to actually grow your presence on LinkedIn, on how to get visible and make your products known. So we're about to call on our one and only Uche, right? I mean, this guy, oh my God. Uche is a sweetheart. He's an amazing person. You know, he's humble. He is he's a specialist, an expert when it comes to content marketing. So he is somebody most of us, including me, look up to. I want to be like in the future when we grow up. We are still growing up, upcoming. So having said that, I'm going to call on Clavia to read out his bio for all of us to hear. Clavia, over to you.
But for Oche, I'm not reading anything. I can read his bio from my head. So, so hi Oche. I'm, I'm going to start introducing this guy with what he likes to do best. I don't know if he still has time for it, but when it comes to movies, give it to Oche. Movies. When it comes to movies and reading, give it to him. But man, you've grown. You've grown, guy. I can't even contact you anymore. Like I'm blocked literally everywhere. I
No, no,
literally
no. It's not like that.
oh boy. When I tried contacting her and I said that I couldn't get in touch with you anymore. And then I went over to your LinkedIn, I saw the reason. I was like, this guy is not even in my league anymore. Like it's a long thing. It's been a while, and I'm really, really happy to have you in Design Pop. So I'm just going to go ahead and read Oche's bio. So Oche writes is a content marketing trainer who helps entrepreneurs, digital marketers, and business owners create content that builds a credible and trusted brand. His goal and focus is to enlighten entrepreneurs and creatives on the amazing opportunities on social media and how to best maximize them. Oche Wright is a LinkedIn influencer with over 90,000, with over 100,000 followers. And he talks about LinkedIn strategy, LinkedIn marketing, content writing, and content strategy. Everybody give it up to Oche. Hi, guy, welcome. We are
Thank you
really, really
very
proud of you.
Thank you very much. Clavia, come on. It's not like that. Come on. You know how much you meant to me.
Angry. Seriously, I'm not angry. I am so happy for your growth. I'm not angry in any manner. It's not even possible. I'm happy for you, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hi, Precious. Hello, everyone. It's good to be here. I'm so excited. I mean, it's been a long time coming. So, yeah, shout out to you, Danu, my brother from another mother.
Boss. I'm almost thank you so much, boss.
Yes, yes. Danu is doing amazingly well, and I'm so proud of the work that you're doing. Um, you guys are killing it, and I'm really excited to be amongst all of you. Thank you very much, Precious, for putting this together. Um, yeah, so I guess we're gonna just dive right into it. By the way, I just came back from the States. I'm joking. I'm joking. I was not anywhere. I've been here.
Oh my God. All right, that's nice. It's really nice to have you here, Uche. And oh my God, yo, our LinkedIn blessing. We literally look forward to seeing your post every day because we know it's back to back content. Someone is saying United States of Aja. Oh my
I
God.
mean, fair enough.
So it's really good having you here, and it's amazing. It's amazing. Thank you for taking out time in your busy schedule to be here. So Uche, let's dive right into it. How did it all start? Please, how come you're in hundreds? How where you have people who are loyal to your content, people who are waiting to hear from you, people who are ready to take advice from you. So how did you start this journey?
Oh, it's been a long time coming, but we're here. Anyways, so I
Instagram.
think yeah. So to start from the very beginning, can you guys hear me though?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. So to start from the very beginning, uh, I didn't really start out wanting to. Okay, I wouldn't say I didn't start out wanting to. Obviously, I dreamt of, right, but there wasn't, the long term goal was obviously to build and build to see how far, we can go. But obviously, I didn't start out like this. We started from the ground and built all the way up, and we're still building. I don't like to, in as much as I get people who say, "Oh, you're doing amazingly well, you're doing really good for yourself," and all of that amazing things that people would say. I don't even like to say things like, "Oh, this is my success story." I still believe I'm progressing in my journey, right? I don't really think I'm there yet. In fact, I feel like every day I wake up, I feel like I'm just getting started, and so that's why there's still so much of that energy to just keep going and keep building and just keep pushing, basically. So yes, it all started from uh, so back in school, obviously, back in uni. I studied electrical electronics engineering and threw that down the drain because, bro, I'm not about to be doing that. So, yeah, I think the love for things like communication or writing generally was always there. I remember back in sex school, I used to be the person who would write notes to my friends who had quote and unquote girlfriends, right? Write love notes to them, help them write love notes to give their friends over at that time. And so I obviously always had the knack for writing, but I wasn't really intentional about anything around about writing. I was just freestyling and just, oh, this is something I like to do, and it's something I can do as easily as it comes. So back in uni, when I was in uni, almost graduating, I figured, you know what, I started to yearn towards building something that I know I would be way more interested in, and that's when I said, you know what, I think this is something I'd like to do. Writing, this is something I'd like to build on, and I started to write random, very very random notes, mostly inspirational notes. Then over after a few months, of course, I tilted towards writing poetry. Yes, I wrote poetry at some points, right? I actually did very well writing poetry. To be honest, poetry is like the foundation of everything I'm doing right now on socials. So before then I was never on. Yes, before then I was never on any social. Oh, I mean, I will literally squeeze, right, and just fold up in my own space. So poetry was really what helped me to start. Oh yeah, we should do some collab on poetry, bro. I'm ready. It's been a long time, but I can still pick up my, pencil and pen or whatever it is. So yeah, poetry was really what helped me to. I started to create an online presence or build an online presence using poetry. I started to put out my content on poetry or around poetry. Started to write pieces here and there. Then I always like to find something that would help me stand out from the crowd. And that's when I went into photo poetry. So I started to create visual pictures or visual elements that would, tell a particular story, and then I would use my ability to write to transcribe those pictures and use it to pass a particular message per post. I did that. I started on Facebook, and I was able to build something really good or big on Facebook. I remember at the time, I built a really really large community on Facebook, for poetry and all. So when I start, or now that I'm on LinkedIn, I'm doing all of these things, and people are like, oh, you do so. I like to say, well, it might look like it, but the truth is I've been doing this for quite a while, or I've been able to follow a particular roadmap that has helped me over time. So it's not so much like I just started a few years ago when I came on LinkedIn. No, LinkedIn was never really the platform that made me to become active on social media or on the internet generally, right? So I use poetry to build a brand, and so that was really what set the tone for me as a writer. Then after school, left school, did all of those things. Then I started to work, and I wanted to, let me not lie to you guys. Poetry was not really like sellable enough, so I was like, bro, I need the money, man. So I'm just gonna drop this. So I dumped poetry because there was no money coming. But I mean, I would get a few gigs then because I started to do things like spoken word poetry. So I would get invited to perform poetry at particular events, right? But just they'll say, oh, take this urgent 2K and go and transport to. Like, is it transport you think it's transport I'm looking for in life? So I knew I needed to monetize, and I figured, poetry wasn't really going to cut for me. I mean, I know that many people are doing amazing well in poetry today, and that's why I love to connect with poets, because I can see that over time people have found a way to also monetize. I have a couple of friends who are doing poetry, and they're doing quite well for themselves. Getting paid for to speak at different places or perform and all of that. So yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't say I regret it, because again, for me, I think poetry was really what was meant to set the tone for all I'm doing right now. And so I use that to sharpen my writing skills. So it's pretty much why you see all of the things I'm doing around storytelling. It all comes from my love that I had for poetry back in the days. So that was what set the tone for me. And then I figured, you know what? You need to monetize, and that's when I started to do because obviously I had a lot of experience now. I had a lot of knowledge, and I had a lot of people, I had friends that I was friends with at the time, who were in marketing and who basically were in business, right? So I started to do a bit of business consulting, or offer business consulting services, just help particularly small businesses to how they can structure their especially their marketing plan and all of that. But again, I was under the umbrella of serving as a business consultant, so I was quite broad. I was very broad, right? So I started to also share content or build my presence around that as well. Started to put out content around business consulting, just talking about how some business tips here and there, and but I wasn't really getting as much. Number one, I wasn't getting the traction, and number two, I figured, what, I think I was talking to a lot of people at once. That was too broad for me, and I knew my onions, but I wasn't really. I think a lot of people were not. They couldn't practically say I can use this to identify, or I can hold on to this and use that to identify Oche as, someone I want to work with as regards business consulting. So I had a couple of conversations with myself, and that's when I realized, what, I would niche down as much as possible, and that's when I went down to content marketing. So yes, that's exactly how content marketing came about for me. And it was, like I said, I started out from poetry, did a bit of poetry, went through the umbrella business consulting, and then before I niched down to content marketing. In fact, I actually niched down to marketing before I picked content marketing in itself. So that's why when I always say, oh, niche down, I'm not trying to give you Google advice. I'm telling you, I'm sharing an advice from my own personal journey, because immediately I niched down to content marketing, boom, that's when everything catapulted for me. And, I saw a tremendous level of growth, because now it was almost like I found my tribe, and my tribe found me, so it was easier for us to connect, and just it was way smoother than when I was doing all those umbrella or larger things. So instead of trying to go broad, I decided to go deep and narrow. So that's what really helped me as regards that. So yeah, that's how it all started for me, though.
Wow. Oh my God. From engineering to poetry to content to marketing before content marketing. Wow.
Exactly.
What a journey. Okay, that's amazing. Guys, please, I would like you to put down your questions. At the end of the last speaker, we're going to answer them. So since you chose content marketing, how did you start creating videos? I mean, you could just decide to, write about content marketing and post pictures. So why did you choose video content marketing?
Okay. So again, that was also getting for me. Now when I didn't start out as sharing videos. I was sharing pretty much pictures and all of those things. What's it called? So when I got on platforms, okay, let me piggyback a little. So I started on Instagram, obviously. That's after I started to build on content marketing. So I started to build on Instagram, and I did really good. Early 2020, when I came on LinkedIn. Okay, we'll talk about the LinkedIn journey, I guess, as we proceed forward. So I moved from sharing pictures or carousels or graphic designs to video, and the reason why I picked video was because I wanted to. One of the things I like to infuse in my content the most is relatability, so that you can literally watch and understand. Even if you're a 5-year-old, you can almost understand what I'm talking about or what I'm saying. So for me, that was very key. So I decided, what, I wanted to make it, and the best way to do that was obviously going to be through videos. So I said, how will I even start this thing? Now, again, before then, I was also camera shy. So when people tell me, oh, I'm camera shy, I say, yeah, I understand.